Hi guys. For tonight's read, we're going to be discussing, do you care what people think? The answer is no. No, I'm just kidding. So feel free to fast forward past my schmeal. Pile 1, if you feel like this crystal resonates with you, fast forward by clicking the link below to pile 1. Pile 2, if you feel like this crystal resonates with you, fast forward by clicking the link to pile 2 below. So, why I wanted to bring this up was I never realized how much I fucking cared what people thought about me. I never thought I cared. So I thought to myself, if I never realized this my whole life, there's got to be so many people out there as well that have these energetic blockages that also don't realize that they care what people think. Because when you care what people think and you require people's approval, you will block your own blessings. You will block manifesting. You won't be able to manifest properly. You won't be able to manifest the things you want. You may be able to manifest little things here and there. You may be able to see that. And then you may be that person that asks, well, why can't I manifest the bigger things? This may be the reason. And you may be thinking, no, I definitely don't give a fuck what others think. So then I would say, hear me out. And then you may be questioning yourself that maybe you do care what people think. So I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign. Fire signs are known to not give a fuck. Okay. So my whole life, looking back, I always thought I did not give a flying fuck because of my actions, the things I would do and say. I was literally typical Aries 101. Teenage years, I was the worst. I probably, I don't know, physically threatened probably 2 to 3% of my high school, no joke. And it was always over a guy. Like, I snuck out of my house. I was partying. I I had a lot of friends. And I thought, because I was very well liked back then in high school, that I truly didn't care what anybody thought, because that's what I was known for, is just doing whatever I wanted to do. Like, pretty much like, there she goes again, just doing it, like doing something. But what I never realized, or I did realize, but I guess because I didn't understand the thought of it, so I just kind of ignored it, was after I would do certain things or say certain things, I would catch myself regretting these things, which is actually a typical Aries, where we just say something and then all of a sudden, like a few minutes later, we're like, okay, like, I'm sorry, we're good now, right? Like, we didn't mean it. Like, it was in the moment. And we really do mean that. Like, we truly are over shit, 1, 2, 3. But our words can truly sting. So most people do not get over things as easily as we do. But the truth of the matter is, we really do get over things really fast. And most people don't believe that or understand it, because I don't think there's any other sign that can do this. And it really does depend on the rest of your natal chart. I'm always talking about these signs as overall energy. But I would think about these things that I would do and say, and I'd really overanalyze them. Aries don't do that. Like, we just don't do that. Like, overall energy, we don't. We will think about, okay, that was wrong. Go apologize and make right. That is what we do. But to the degree that I would always do as a child, a teenager, and up until, just recently, I'd really be in my head about it. And I would always think like, why do I care? Like, I don't fucking care. And then I'd brush it out of my head. I'd be like, fuck that. I don't care. I don't care. I did what I did, you know, but I was lying to myself. There's a reason I am overthinking these things. Is it because I did something wrong? Honestly, no. It could have gone either way back then, or even up until this day. It could have been my fault. It could have been the other person's fault. And I was still overanalyze and question myself and be like, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I fucked up. And I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking or reflecting about situations. I think everyone should do that. I think a well-rounded person should always reflect about their day at the end of the day. Most of us do not do that, but you should, because there's so many things to learn from every single day. Some people may think that's weird, but it's not. We can learn from one another. So I never understood this. And now, of course, understanding more about astrology and the natal chart, our blueprint, I truly understand that it's, for me personally, it's because I am, a rising Libra. And no offense to my Libras, but that's that Venus energy, that people pleaser energy where it's like, we just want everyone to like us, you know, like I know I said what I said, I know I did what I did, but we're cool, right? We're cool, right? And, you know, so I've always had the habit of apologizing, over apologizing. I remember back in high school, they called me in cheerleading, sorry. That was my nickname, sorry. Because I always felt the need to over apologize just to let people know I was really sorry, because I really wanted their approval. I really wanted them to like me again. We're cool, right? That's what, no offense again to my Libras, but that's what they do. And then I have Pluto and Scorpio in my first house as well. So it's like, that's another over obsessive like sign within itself. So you got Venus and Pluto, where you got overly obsessive thoughts, overly obsessive thinking. It's like a no-win. It's like, how do you get out of your own fucking head? And then also Mars and Gemini is like not helping matters as well, because Gemini is all about thoughts. And the fact that it's in my 8th house, which is Scorpio, and the things that cannot be seen, and picking up on shit by intuition or psychic abilities, it's like, you poor child, you're just going to overthink all the time. And that's, a lot of people don't realize this, but that's where your energy goes. If you are somebody that is constantly waking up with a fucking to-do list, and you just, you know, if you don't feel like you're suffering from depression, because the simplest tasks will become complicated. So if it's not depression, and you just can't get yourself to do these things, the simplest things, or whatever it is you claim really matters to you, but you can't get yourself to it, you could be somebody like me, where you have so many thoughts going on in your head that you're actually wasting all your energy in your internal world, and not in your material world, the 3D realm, what's going on outside of you. Everything needs to come down to balance. So when you care what people think about you, you're going to waste your own fucking energy. And it's a ripple effect. You won't be able to manifest properly. Not only is it so blatantly obvious that you shouldn't be living for other people's opinions for so many different reasons, but you're meant to be you in this life. You're meant to live your own journey because you have a purpose you're meant to remember at a certain time in your life, where you'll start seeing synchronicities or clues. And even the people who aren't spiritual, they'll start feeling specific things. They'll start focusing their energy like, oh, I got to get my shit together this year. This is the year, you know. They'll just experience it in a different way. They won't be like, I'm seeing 888, 888 all over the fucking world, you know, like they're not going to do that. That would be weird to them. So instead, they're going to feel that energy where it's like, they got to do something, but what? They want to do something big, but what? That's how they'll feel it. We all feel it to a different degree. But when you are changing whatever it is you want to do, or you feel like you're meant to do in this life, you're changing up your destiny. You're changing up what would make you happy. And most of us don't realize that. We end up feeling unfulfilled. unhappy. That's why a lot of us in this life have midlife crises. Wait, crises or crisis? Whatever. Although that's actually Saturn's return the second time around. Most people don't realize that either. And even if they did, that generation usually isn't into that shit. And if they are, cool. I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying. So, do you care what people think? I didn't realize that I was lying to myself. I thought because I was always loud that it meant I had a voice. And my friend told me this. When I told her, you know, like, oh, I feel like, because it was a friend that I reconnected with and I was catching her up on things. And she said that line to me. She goes, just because you're loud, it doesn't mean you have a voice. I thought that was so fucking smart. Like, it was so true. And I think I confused the two growing up because I was very quiet growing up. And then, unfortunately, I was one of those kids that just got like pushed around, taken advantage to the point where it made me that angry kid, to the point where it did like the complete opposite and it wasn't balanced energy. And I turned into that kid where it's like, don't you fucking dare push me around. I will destroy you. And then that led into suppressing anger and then passive aggressiveness and whatever. So I ended up changing from a quiet, sweet, shy child to a loud teenager into a loud adult. In the beginning, when you meet me, there's that Libra Venus energy where I'm still a little shy, a little bit of charm, but, you know, overall loud. And I guess I confused the two and I didn't realize. I thought, no, I speak my mind. I'm loud. I don't care what people think. I say what it is I think. But I really didn't. If you're keeping things to yourself, and I don't mean like, I think he's actually really fat. Like, no, we don't need to share those thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, let's use common sense here. You may actually care what people think. So, there could be little triggers to catching this, because if you're somebody who's still kind of unsure, but entertaining the possibility that maybe you do care what people think, I would catch the little things that trigger you. So for example, you know, this whole psychic thing for me is like, I'm still like, I don't like to talk about it publicly, just because I already know what my local community looks like. I already know a majority of what my coworkers think, my family thinks, my friends think, neighbors think. That we're not on the same page. I'm literally misplaced. That's what my soul chose coming here in this life intentionally. So, and it's literally the only things I want to talk about is life and travel and, oh my God, astrology and the planets and, you know, all these things that do not interest my people, my people. So, for example, do I care what people think to this day? This is something that's never going to change overnight if you are somebody who cares what people think, but it's slow progress and I'm definitely changing it big time. Like, I'm like pretty much there, honestly. But, so for example, the planets, a lot of people don't believe in that stuff. And that amazes me because I'm just like, really? That's interesting. But then I come off as a smartass. I come off as condescending and that I think I'm better than you. I think I'm smarter than you. But it's just really an insecurity. I don't mean to come off that way. It's just because of how I've been treated my whole life, where people think I'm the dumb blonde, and it's like, little do you know. So, for example, the full moon. If I were to say to my local community, like, oh, did you manifest? Let's just pretend I would ever have these conversations with these people, and I would never. But I'd be like, did you manifest? Like, what are you going to manifest for the new moon coming up? You know, what are you going to manifest? What are you going to bring in? And are you going to do any rituals? They'd be like, you believe in that shit. And then me going into my Capricorn energy, I'd have to throw some like facts their way. I'd have to bring some logic into the conversation, because it's not me just trying to like prove myself and that I have a point. It's just like who I am. I love science as well. So, and I'm not saying this is science, but I'm just saying like I'd have to try to prove my point. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but during a full moon, if you were to check to see the hospitals I don't know if it's all around the world, I'm going to assume yes, but the emergency rooms, they're usually jam-packed. Like there's more people during a full moon in an emergency room than not, which just goes to show you, that the energy of a moon does affect people. It's not just like the ocean and whatever else it affects. Like it's so much more than that. But it's like if I were to even have that conversation with my local community, they'd be like, it's just a coincidence. That would piss me off. I'd be like, just a coincidence that all the fucking hospitals in North America, or maybe the world, I don't know. I didn't look into it enough. I just know that it is definitely a fact that during the full moons, the emergency rooms are like more so packed than other days. And it's just a coincidence. You don't make any sense. But you see, I get triggered because these people want to look at me like I'm in La La Land, and it's like your response to me is La La Land. You haven't given it enough thought. You're not even open-minded enough to consider what it is I'm saying. To me, I think that's stupid, yet these people try to treat me like I'm stupid. Why does that bother me? I already know what I believe to be true, right? So do I care what people think still? Yeah, obviously. I think because we're living a human experience, it is obviously normal to stand your ground on certain things when it comes to do you care what people think. If there's something there that you have to defend, whatever it is, maybe your mom, maybe your dad, whatever, and however it's being done, do you care what people think? Maybe you do have to stand your ground with specific things in life, But I think those are the ways to catch your triggers. Figure out these conversations between you and your people that get your heart going. You feel your heart racing, or you feel yourself just talking and not even thinking, Even if you catch it afterwards, that's okay, but catch it nonetheless to see if you are somebody who does care what people think. Like I said, when it's a blockage, it's a fucking blockage. That's people go to therapy for that. People go to psychiatrists for that. Kylo, stop. Annoying. People go, Kylo, enough. He's so fucking annoying. Sometimes I swear. Kylo. Nobody's there. Anyway, sorry. So, anyway, it's really hard, especially when it is a blockage, because how are you supposed to know? It's blocked. These are the little things you have to play with yourself, little mind games. I remember one time when all this psychic stuff started happening to me, because I came into this later on in life. And when that stuff happens to you, it's weird, especially when your local community isn't into this stuff. I was talking to, because they have like spiritual counselors and stuff for people that are, tapping into their gifts, who are psychic, whatever. But it's like you have to be very picky with these people, because some people are fucking scam artists. They just want their money. And this one woman I went to, we were going over everything. I loved everything she said. Everything was on point. She gave me food for thought. She told me a lot of things that I was already thinking. And I was like, okay, yeah, I think she's right. I think she's true. I would see her again. I would check in each month with her. Then, right when we were just about to hang up, she goes, oh, wait, I forgot to mention one other thing. And I was like, what is that? And she goes, I see that you're having like these weird dreams. She goes, but don't think much of them. They're just weird. I thought to myself, I'm never going to see this woman again. She's gone. Nope. Absolutely not. Because in this life, you have to go with your intuition. You have to go with your higher self. Now, it's a tricky one to figure out when your ego is filtering your downloads being intuition. But that, when, I'm wording it wrong. There came a point where I was realizing my dreams, I was definitely being hit up, like from hit up. I was getting messages from my spirit guides, because when it was first starting out for me, I was choosing not to believe it. I was like, this is too weird, because I'm my Capricorn community. We're just like, no, that's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. So when I was choosing not to believe these things I was seeing, even though I was getting clear messages in my dreams, they would then go to my mom and they would share like these same messages with her. What do I mean by that? Like she would be able to see the same visions I was getting that I wasn't sharing with anyone. And that's how I knew. It was like, she's seeing the same things I'm seeing. How the fuck does that happen when I'm not sharing any of these things with anyone? And how am I even knowing that she's seeing what I'm seeing? Because I felt that intuitive download. Ask her what she dreamt about. Ask her. So the second that woman told me my dreams aren't real, I was like, oh, I'm never seeing you again. So it bothered me though. It bothered me because that is essentially somebody telling me that what I'm going through isn't true. It's frustrating. That is essentially somebody taking away something that's mine. You may not understand that. Let me give you another example. One of my gifts is I'm able to send people visions energetically. This is a confusing one because this I don't think is a thing. And if it is a thing, I haven't found it anywhere. So it's something that's very different, but it's my gift nonetheless. And anytime I do this for people, or if I talk about it and it happens and people get visions, the reaction 9 out of 10 times is like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm excited because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. The world is so cool, like life. And they're like, yeah, I don't know what that was, but so cool. And I'm like, and I'm beginning to pick up on something. Like they don't think it's me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And basically they end up saying something like, and not everyone, just some, where they're just like, yeah, I don't know if it was you, but like, I don't know what that was exactly, but like, that was cool, different, but cool, You've never gotten visions in your life, correct? Yeah, no, never. Okay, so I just told you I will send you visions, right? Yeah. Okay, and then you got the visions, right? Yeah. But you're saying you don't know if it's me sending them to you? Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, No, I don't know because I know what it is I'm doing and you don't. That's taking away something that's mine. If I were to send two friends into a room and if I were to say, send each other visions, I'll be right back, I would come back and nothing will happen. And they'll say, yeah, nothing happened. If I stand there and I tell them to close their eyes, they'll both get visions. And then you know what will happen? Because in my local community, they'll be like, that was so weird. How did that happen? How do you think that happened? Taking it away from me, not believing in me that it's me who's doing it, despite us literally doing a research project. I'm part of the equation. Hello? Does nobody remember science class? And then people want to act like I'm the problem. Like this is cockiness. Like this is a reaction to people taking something that is mine. It's my gift and people are taking it, whether they're subconsciously doing it or not. I don't care. I'm bringing it to your attention that you're taking it away and they still don't care. That's a problem to me. I'm entitled to react to that. That's something that's worth standing your ground for. And I don't care if anyone agrees with me on that or not. That's my gift. I've never heard of anyone having a gift like that. Do you know what psychics are doing when they're channeling? Let me show you. That's my gift to you. I could show you. I'll help you channel. People are crazy. But you see, that's a trigger. That is literally a trigger for me. I care what people think. Well, that's literally taking away something that's mine. Some things are worth standing your ground. Which brings me to my next point. There was one point where I was actually, so I don't like school. It's not my thing. I've come to learn that with astrology, I am somebody who learns through Neptune energy, not Capricorn energy. I'm sorry, Capricorn. Well, I always do that, Capricorn energy. I mean, Saturn energy, which is how most people learn, which is exactly how school teaches you from the books and reading and studying, blah, blah, blah. That does not work for me. It is torture for me. It's hard for me to learn that way, which is why I was one of those kids in the extra help classes. I was the one who got up in front of everybody, embarrassed. I was the one where the teachers would complain to their mom and say, yeah, some kids get it and some kids don't, like real dick bags. And it's funny because to this day, when I was a kid, I always used to say, you know, I'm sure eventually I'll understand why some of these teachers made the shitty fucking comments they did. I'm sure I just don't get it now because I'm a child. Like, really, I really thought these thoughts. And even to this day, I'm like, no, they said some horrific fucking things to a child that really made me feel like I was fucking stupid, like really stupid. So I do have these insecurities, which is why I do push myself to try to pronounce these certain words that I can't do, you know, reading in front or doing a YouTube, because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to work through that energy because I'm meant to speak really nicely. I'm meant to do all that, but it's harder as a child for me. So I have this hang up about being smart and blah, 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 even though I am smart. I just don't sound smart at times. And my foul mouth doesn't help matters. So I pushed myself in regards to college because I cared too much what people thought, to the point where I was really considering getting a PhD at one point in my life, like literally, just to have it, so people could never call me stupid. That's stupid. Literally, going to school to get a PhD for other people, not even for myself. That's so sad. Like literally, that's so sad. I'm proud of myself that I got to that point where, because I literally applied for the program and everything and I got accepted. Very proud of myself, all of that, because that's in my chart too, where I constantly feel like I have to achieve. And that is why I do these things in these videos, because I do need that as part of my career. I'm supposed to have some type of intellect where it's like, because I do enjoy that. I really do. But it's like, I don't need to prove myself to anybody because the majority of people think I'm stupid. Okay. Honestly, I think most of the people that I've interacted with are fucking stupid, but I would have never judged them had I not picked up on that these people were judging me, to be quite honest with you. And that's what really triggers me. It really pisses me off. But you see, that's one of my triggers that I don't need to stand my ground for. It's not worth it. I know I'm smart. I just don't speak clearly. I don't pronounce things all the time. I curse a lot. I know what it is. So a lot of people also, and this is another one that triggers me, but then I'm like over it in like literally like a few minutes. So I've mentioned this before in one of my videos. The midhaven is your mask for work. It's also your mask on social media. This is the energy you embody with the things you post. So there's some people who are genuinely not interested in social media. They'll post a few things, maybe sports or maybe a few political things, and like that's it. They're just really don't care. Somebody like me, there's so many people in my local community that think I'm imbalanced. They think I'm crazy, think I'm stupid. because my midhaven is in Cancer. So I've said this before, midhaven and Cancer are, it's looked at as like the celebrity interviews, the bloopers, where they've said too much, and it's like, oh, why'd they do that? I don't care. With a midhaven and Cancer, we literally, everything is so personal to us. Everything is so deep. It may not be deep to anybody reading it. Probably isn't. But you're always going to know when we're happy, sad, angry. You're going to know. That's who we are. It's the moon energy. It's Gaia. Like that. I don't care. I want to share my emotions. I think I'm creative now. I want to talk about it. And I don't care what you think. So when you post things one day where it's happy, and then the next post is kind of, I don't know, maybe a life lecture or whatever these people are thinking. I don't care. But it's complete polar opposites. So when you have a bunch of judgmental people, possibly closed-minded as well, people are going to be thinking, oof, I don't care. I think people will resonate with that. Real people will resonate with that because that's real life, right? Are we happy 24/7? No. Are we sad 24/7? No. We're happy one day, sad the next, maybe a mix. It's everything. This is life. And what's really funny is that fire signs, I mean, it's not that it's funny, it's just astrology is such a huge factor here. So in order to really be a well-rounded person, without having to put work into it, you would have to be really lucky enough to have like an even amount of fire energy in your chart, water, air, and earth. If you have that, oh my God, God bless your soul. But if you have more fire in your chart, which is passion and just doing whatever it is you want to do, that's also why fire signs do the shit that they do. They're all about heart and passion. Same goes for water signs. I've never been with a water sign, but I can only imagine. Guys are very emotional. That's my social media energy is very emotional. So I get triggered when I'm aware as to people thinking I'm imbalanced because of my posts. One time I had this moron, this fucking idiot. He was literally attempting to destroy my character by, let's just say the stars are lies. And he was literally just pulling stars out of his fucking ass and just trying to just lie about me. Lie. Like these lies weren't even somewhat remotely close to the truth. And I felt attacked. I felt like I had to defend myself. And, my friends and family were like, you don't have to stoop low and try to defend yourself online. Because this is where I went. And most people will be like, you're better than that. You're better. Don't. Who's to say that you're better? Like, why is defending your honor a bad thing when people are out there literally trying to destroy you? It makes me laugh because half the shit I've personally been through compared to the people I've been friends with haven't gone through half the shit I've gone through. But the advice they've given me looking back, it's like, damn well they would not have handled it in a graceful way, a tactful way. It's just funny how people will give you advice from things they know nothing about. And you just know intuitively, deep down, if they were going through the same shit you were going through, they would handle it, if not the same, worse. Worse. So, these are the things that I think about when I think about being triggered. I've unfortunately dealt with several suicides in my family. And the first one that I dealt with, I was 12 years old. And this was back in, I think, 2001. And back then, it was not as acceptable as it is now in regards to mental health and, the awareness of that, which is great. So I was told pretty much to lie about it, don't open your mouth about it, because then the family will be looked down upon, like something's wrong with the family. Years later, I ended up having another family member kill themselves. And I felt like at that point there was a calling, and I don't mean a calling like speak for the ones, you know, who commit suicide, but just like you should be doing something. You know, like one suicide is bad enough, but if you got two going on, like you should be doing something. So I do a fundraiser, a walk. I forgot what it's called, but for people who have committed suicide, who have been affected by it. And then there was a third. It's like one is just awful enough, but it kind of gets you, when you get the second one, it like gets you in the mind frame of who's next. And then there is a next, and you're like, oh no. It also changes your sense of humor to a kind of dark. So not a lot of people also understand my sense of humor, because you kind of have to laugh when shit like that goes on, because what else would I be doing? But you kind of feel this feeling of shame when that happens. And that's just sad within itself, because it's not like, it doesn't reflect anything about my family. It just doesn't. But yet there's this innate shame that somehow we as a family have failed these people. Therefore, it's a reflection on me mentally, especially if I already have people who think I'm imbalanced because of how I talk and social media. It's like even more of a stigma, like 3 suicides, you know, like, do we want to announce this to the world to add on to their platform, you know? And it's like, well, yeah, because I don't give a fuck what you guys think, you know? And I feel like there's a higher calling there in regards to being a part of, you know, that walk for anyone who's affected by suicide. But I'm always triggered by talking about it, because I feel like automatically my family will be judged, or I will be judged, because it's like, you know, the 1, okay, that's bad. 2, oh, okay. 3, what's going on? What's going on in that house, you know? And it's sad. It's just sad. And these are all the different feelings, different emotions where you can kind of catch yourself. So all those examples I just gave you, that is literally me caring what other people think. And it's like, at the end of the day, why care what people think? Why would I give a flying fuck what people think? Most of these people don't experience suicide, so they wouldn't understand. So, and most people do judge, right? We all judge on some spectrum. Like, I definitely judge, but not to the point where like I would not talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Like I when I say I judge, like I observe things. I see things, but like I won't act on it. That's my judging. But I guess there's this feeling of being nervous I'm going to be attacked in some type of way, maybe behind my back, or, you know, or my family will be. And then, you know, that Aries energy, I have to defend my family, or, you know, whatever it is. So that's a trigger. So therefore, I care what people think. The higher perspective is that to understand, most people don't understand what it is or what's going on behind closed doors, and why people do commit suicide, and people will make judgment calls when they shouldn't. They have no place, but we're all human, and sometimes we do this without even realizing it, you know, and people don't mean any harm by it. They really don't. So what's another thing? Wait, there is one more thing I wanted to say, because I thought this one was a good one, because this is one of my triggers, because everybody always thinks I'm so crazy for this one, but this, and it bothers me. It's my trigger, but it's because I feel like most people are so bothered by such stupid things, and it annoys me. So when you get cheated on, if you've ever had the pleasure of finding out from the person that your person has cheated on you with, if you're lucky enough where this person will tell you the truth, tell you everything from A to Z, like for example, me. I had a real girl's girl, the first one. She was a real girl's girl. She was like, I knew something was up. I had a feeling, and she genuinely didn't know anything about me. So she gave me all the information I needed, and then I dumped that guy like no other. Me and that girl are friends to this day. Friends to this day. Do you know how many people think that's weird? You're probably thinking it's weird too. I don't think it's weird at all. I think that girl was the realest. Like, that is, and I don't think it's weird either. First of all, she helped me. She could have been one of those, girls that doesn't want to get involved, even though she's already involved, but doesn't want to get involved. And then, or she could have been one of those girls that was like, I have nothing to say. Could have been the complete opposite and just wanted, my boyfriend at the time. But she didn't. She saw the injustice of what a prick this guy was and how he was playing her and me. And that was beautiful within itself. You know what I mean? Like, this girl had my back. And how could I be mad at her for that? She helped me. I could have gone back to that loser. I could have gone back to him and been like, I didn't get any information from her, so technically I don't know if he cheated. You know what I mean? I could have lied to myself. I could have been in that unhealthy relationship where it's like, I know deep down he's a fucking cheater, no good, fucking dirty cheater, but I have the proof now. I'm at peace. I was able to leave that relationship, and I gained a really good friend. Everybody thinks it's weird. And when I ask, why do you think it's weird? My closest friends would be like, just because, like, I could never, like, look at somebody in the eye knowing, like, they slept with somebody I loved. And what do you mean? Like, I don't love that guy. I don't love him. He ruined anything that was good. He literally ruined anything that was good. He was the first narcissist I ever dealt with in my life. No. I'm good. I don't care. And then the second one, there's more, was my ex's ex-fiance. When this person was lying about me and I was trying to defend myself, everybody thought I was batshit crazy because here I was doing childish things and trying to defend my honor because it was all online. Because nobody understood. Nobody understood the pain that I was going through. Everybody just thought, oh my God, be the better person. Be the better person. It's just ignore him. If you know that, these are lies, like, just, oh my God, your friends and family know who you really are then. Fuck you. You don't know what it's like when somebody's going around town pulling lies out of their asshole, ruining your fucking character because people are believing him. Like, you have no idea what that's like. I will do whatever to protect my character because I'm telling the fucking truth. And so his ex-fiance had reached out to me, saw what I was going through. Guess what? She's my friend to this day. People think that's weird. I don't fucking care. You see, that's a trigger. I'm annoyed. Why is that weird? That girls linked up together? That we saw the injustice with these shits? Fuck these guys. That guy thought he was playing me and the other girl. We linked up as girlfriends. Thank you. Then the other guy was literally trying to destroy my character. He looked like the biggest fucking tool bag in the very end and lost everything. You know what I got? A good friend. The good person always fucking wins in the end. Always. Always. You know who can't see that? The people who don't have an open mind. Closed-minded individuals don't get it. These are triggers for me. Closed-minded individuals. People who don't consider things that are beyond them. It's like, reflect. Reflect. Annoying. You see, it's still a work in progress for me. So, during this reading, we're going to see, do you care what people think? If so, why? And how does this hold you back? Because like I said, these things will hold you back. My whole life, I cared what people thought, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that I was into, well, the psychic stuff I'm not going to hold against anyone because that was meant to come out later. But there's just so many other things, like being confident, People like you when you're down. And sometimes these people don't even realize what they're doing. Because some people are really bringing you down on a subconscious type of level because they're jealous. And it hurts when it comes from people you thought were your friends. It turns out they weren't. So, do you care what people think about you? Because we don't want that. We want you to get to where you want to go. We want you to be able to manifest properly. Because that's where you're going to be truly happy. There's a lot of actors and actresses out there pretending they're happy and they're not. I can tell you, unblocking things energetically is liberating. It's like, what? This is cool. So, do you care what people think? One card, please. Do you care? Oh, are all these backwards? No. Okay, so we got awaiting results, reversed. New vitality, reversed. Joy and stability, reversed. Do you care what people think? I'm seeing a temple in the dark. So it's like there's something of interest that you keep a secret. I feel like you're in the car driving past. I feel like somebody, like a librarian is closing up. They have a crown on. What are they doing? I feel like they're putting salt around the library. Is it gonna snow there? They bring a tiny version. Wait, what are they holding? A fireplace? I don't know what this is that they're holding. A TV screen. It was like a fireplace and then it turned into, I feel like I'm seeing an old school telephone going around in circles. I feel like you're watching. Awaiting results. I feel like this was the librarian. Like you were driving and she had a crown on. She was putting down salt around the library. Can you stop? He's embarrassed me enough today. Okay, so there's the tree. Would you say, do you care what people think? Oh, I'm seeing the number 4. So the salt, that's so you don't slip. 4 is firm foundation. It's in backwards, so that makes more sense now. So no joy. Do you care what people think? Yes. Looking at a ring. Do you care what people think? Yeah. Something about your commitments. Oh, I feel like I got all the answers. Okay, let me start over. Do you care what people think? Why? How does this hold you back? It holds back your joy. It holds back your commitments. Like you're not able to. Sorry, I'm like bugging out. I'm like looking at the questions. Something to do with education, tempos, library, learning. Do you care what people think? Something to do with you. Something about you being interested in something and some type of learning. Like you don't want to share this with people. Why? Something about it's shaky. It's not firm. It's not Capricorn. Like it's not traditional. 4 of Pentacles is what I'm thinking of in tarot. Capricorn's traditional. How does this hold you back? The fireplace, new vitality, passion. How does this hold you back? Whatever this is you. Whatever you're hiding that you're into about learning, you're hiding it. You're learning about something because you're meant to learn about that. You actually like it. It brings joy and stability. It'll give you new energy. Do you care what people think? Okay, so how can you move forward then with this? Because this is supposed to bring you new vitality. Believe and succeed in reverse. So this is like 6 of Swords going to soothe their waters. But it's in reverse. Like all these. So you're supposed to move towards this learning. Whatever this is that you're learning about, you like it for a reason. Oh. I forgot about the house placements. Love it. Let me tell you right now. Do you care what people think? 7th house placement. Marriage and other partnerships. I partner. Awareness of others. Why? Fourth house placement. Home, parents, roots, inner security. I nurture, inner world. What I say, your foundation. Traditional. New vitality. How does this hold you back? First house. I am awareness of self, appearance, outward personality. You're not able to be who you really are. So what should you do to, what was my last new question? Sixth house. Work, health, service, self-improvement. I serve. I feel like I already saw this as part of the vision. You were in a car. Okay, so I hope that helped. I hope that helped. All right, sending you love and light. Bye. Okay. Pile 2. Do you care what people think? New vitality in reverse. Why? So yes, do you care what people think? Yes. Third eye chakra. How does this hold you back? Dreams coming true. Ninth house in reverse. Higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, law. And how can they get there? Blossom. Okay. Okay. Hi, pile 2. Okay, so I shuffled and these are the cards that wanted to come out. Do you care what people think? Yes. We got new vitality in reverse, which stands for the first house placement in astrology. I am awareness of self, appearance, outward personality. Do you care what people think? Yes. Why? Third eye chakra. 6. Work, health, service, self-improvement. I serve daily life. Dreams coming true in reverse. Ninth house placement. Higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, law. I explore, expanded horizons. And how can you get there? Blossom. Well, at least that's solved. You know, all you got to do is blossom. Okay, so let me channel this. Do you care what people think? Why? Do you care what people think? I feel like I'm seeing an entrance to a door and somebody holding a basket. I feel like it's symbolic of like all their dirty laundry coming out. And like messy teeth. Do you care what people think? Yeah, I feel like, so I see you taking out the dirty laundry, but it's like, it's how people are interpreting it is how you're bothered. That's like, that's, so the sloppy teeth I saw, those weren't your teeth. It's like I was getting very egotistical, like how people are interpreting it. Like they're ready to attack based off of that. Something like that. And it like, you care because because it's like they're not getting the message behind your message. Something like that. Do you care what people think? Yeah, it's like intuitively you're picking up on, it's like intuitively you're annoyed because they're not getting the bigger message, what you're trying to appearance, our personality. It's like, I'm sorry. I feel like whatever you're putting out there, people are twisting it and you're picking up on it intuitively, and that's why you're annoyed. So therefore that's a trigger, so therefore you care what people think, right? Because what did they say before? You know you, or your friends and family know you, so why fight back? Something like that. How does this hold you back? I feel like I'm seeing people walking. How does this hold you back? So that would be travel. I feel like I just saw an elephant, and out of the end of the trunk, at the end of the trunk, there was um oh my god, what's the fucking word? Makeup brushes. So it's like, I feel like because you're picking up on people judging you, you're technically not able to energetically let these people go. So on a spiritual level, it's like there's no, I feel like the ninth house placement's coming up for travel, because it's like metaphorically letting these energies go. You may feel the need to, yeah, look, blossom. That's how you get there, to not caring what people think. So I feel like the dreams coming true, you may want to actually let these lingering energies go. True. And when I say letting it go, it's like understanding it from a higher perspective, right? Like literally, like understanding where they come from, why they think the way that they do. And forgiving them for that, forgiving them for judging you. I feel like forgiveness I feel like you want to forgive. I feel like you want to forgive these people. This would be one of your dreams. Remember I said higher perspective? That's what the 9th house is all about, higher education. Expanded horizons. Yeah, this was the trunk. It was upside down. It was like the trunk of an elephant, and at the end coming out, I saw were makeup brushes. So it's like, I don't even think it's necessarily symbolic for making up, because I saw people walking. I felt more like just release, energetically releasing, letting go, not feeling the need to preserve ego, right? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just like I was saying before, where it's like, I have to defend myself. I have to, well, yeah, I get it. I really do. Like I said, there's some things where some things require standing your ground. There's something about your dirty laundry where it's like, this doesn't require that. You would have to change what you're picking up intuitively from other people. You'd have to change how they grew up, their mindset, their brain. Like, you can't do that. You'd have to literally practice the art of letting go so you can blossom. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that energy of caring what people think, and it's going to hold you back. It'll make you question everything you do because you're going to require their approval. Do you care what people think? Appearance, outward personality. People are always going to judge. You could be as honest as you want. People are still going to judge you. And you can always intuitively pick up on that. So what do you do about that? As a human experience, this is going to be a trigger, but how do you handle that energetically? I see that you want to, on a spiritual level, because I saw those elephants or elephant, you want to let it go. So the higher perspective would be to understand what type of people are judging you. You're going to have to do that work so you can blossom. Okay, that's what I got for you. I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. And I'm sending you love and light. Bye.